Greetings and a warm welcome to everyone joining us from the various concerns of the digital realm. Today we are going to discuss about the topic three levels of management. So Dr. Ashokan is here to present on the topic. So over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you thank you very much, ma'am. Very good evening to one and all present. I don't know whether good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to one and all present here. For next 45 minutes to 60 minutes, we will discuss about there are three different levels of management for career building, especially for these management students. These are the overview of my discussion. Let me start with this. What is this three levels of management? The first level, I call it as this developing competency, and what are the ingredients is required to develop the competency, irrespective of this organization we work or we are going to work on it. I put it into developing the competency, the combination of six attributes, namely knowledge, skill, talent, growth mindset, technology, and attitude. This is the first level. First, we have to start with that. So these attributes are the fundamental building blocks to develop the competency is the first level of management. And second level, from developing competency, you have to go for this building strength, strength and weakness of every individuals. And third highest level, attain the personal mastery. So these are the three levels we would like to discuss for next 45 minutes. And all the three levels, fundamental building block, I re-emphasize that knowledge, skill, talent, growth mindset, technology, attitudes. So we are going to discuss in detail about what is the knowledge, what is skill, how to develop this, what is the definition of the talent, how to identify the talent of individual persons, and what is the fixed mindset and growth mindset, and what is the technology, the perception about the technology, and what is the right kind of attitude one has to develop the competencies, the first level of management, right? The first level, as I told, that developing the competency. Second level is building strength from developing competency. And the third highest level, attain the personal mastery from the strength and weakness on that. So developing competency is a combination of knowledge, skill, talent, technology, growth mindset, and attitude. We will discuss in detail on each one of these components. We have a clear understanding or clarity about that. What is knowledge, what is skill, talent, technology, how it helps to develop the competency that. First, let me start with this knowledge. When I ask what is the knowledge, people normally say that it's the information, and there is a confusion between the information and knowledge is there. And you put it in professionally, what is the definition of the knowledge is that the term, it's a discipline in knowledge I'm talking about, whether it is the mathematics discipline, whether it is a physics, whether it is a finance, whether it is marketing, whatever it may be, I call it as, is a discipline knowledge, I mean in term, right? So, and people misunderstood that knowledge and information that before the introduction of this social media website or this www internet, all even before this Google, when I say that knowledge and information, it seems to be more or less it seems to be similar that. But the moment the Google has been introduced and social media dominating the entire world, there is a clear definition between the knowledge and information is there. When I say information, you can go to the Google, I can go to any social media, you can just type it, what is the information you want it, immediately if it gives, even for this artificial intelligence or Alexa, these are all giving the basic informations they are ready to give, right? But what's the difference is that information is only at the surface level. It's only surface level, right? Unless one has to clearly having the deep understanding of the information and having the ability to apply that information wherever they want for solving the problems, then only this information will be converted into the knowledge. Otherwise, information will be information at the surface level. So I repeat it, the information is at the surface level. One has to have the deep understanding about the information and have the ability to apply that information to solve the problem. Then only this information will be converted into the knowledge. Otherwise, information at the surface level, knowledge is at the deep level. Right. Now, this Knowledge is always dynamic because every day, every second, the new knowledge is researchers and scientists are bringing the new knowledge every day. So in that sense, the knowledge is always dynamic, right? Second, now, according to my experience, if you Google it, there are 21 types of knowledge is there. According to me, for this discussion, I divide the knowledge into two broad categories. One is, I call it as this knowledge so far constant, right? What I mean is that if you say, for example, is a very simple example that Newton's third law of gravitation is there, right? So no scientist or researchers so far challenged the Newton's law of gravitation. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So that information is constant as on today, which means that that knowledge is not challenged by the scientist or researcher, and they never defeat that knowledge, they have not proved that knowledge is wrong. They have not created any new knowledge. That sense, I'm calling it as the knowledge so far constant, right? And another type of knowledge, I call it as the continuously changing that. If you say some of the areas, in any area, if you take it up, every day, the scientists and researchers are challenging the old knowledge and they're creating the new knowledge, right? So one has to be alert, right? One has to be alert in their professional, in their subject content area or discipline area. What are the knowledge so far constant, which means that those knowledge remains constant. No scientist research challenge that knowledge. What are the knowledge in my subject domain or discipline domain? The scientists and researchers challenging and they make it that obsolete. They are creating the new knowledge every day. So I have to be very alert whether the knowledge, what are the knowledge in my discipline so far constant, and what are the knowledge is every day people are bringing the new knowledge. So in that sense, if any new knowledge is coming up daily on that, I have to remove from this my long-term memory the old knowledge, and I have to relearn that new information. That is why that is the real meaning of unlearn and relearn. That's the real meaning of unlearn and relearn. So changes are made every day. New ideas and evidence are accepted by the scholar community. People are scientists and researchers are creating new knowledge, right? Now, knowledge can be transferred from one person to another person. Absolutely, there is no difficulty as long as people are ready to learn. So knowledge can be transferred from one person to another person, right? Now, coming to the second attribute, I'll call it as the skill. If you ask me what is skill, skill is a procedural knowledge of how to accomplish a particular task step by step. That's very, very important. Step by step is very, very important. How to accomplish a particular task step by step. That way we call it as the skill. So how to accomplish a particular task step by step, I call it as the procedural knowledge, right? When I say we should not have the confusion about skill is different, knowledge is different, not at all. Skill means that procedural knowledge is embedded with that. Procedural knowledge is embedded with that. That we call it as the skill, right? Skill is always attached with the particular role of a people working in the organization. Say, for example, if you a teacher is a role, teacher is a profession, teacher is a profession. My designation is professor. So let us not confuse your designation, profession, and role. So my designation is a professor. My profession is teaching. What is my role as a teacher? If I go to the classroom, I play the role of teacher, right? If I am setting the question paper for conducting the examination, my role is question paper setter, right? If I go to the examination hall for doing this invigilation duty, my role is invigilator. If I correct the answer papers of all the examination written by the students, my role is evaluator. So my designation is professor, my profession is teaching, my roles are different. So skill is with respect to the role, not related to my profession, not related to my designation. That very, very clear on that, right? So what is the skill required to teach particular subject? It does not related with my profession or not related to my designation. We have to be very clear on that, right? So the best way to develop a skill is practice, practice, practice. So if you want to teach or if you want to learn a particular skill, we have to break down into the step by step. First accomplish the first step, first accomplish the second step, or next accomplish the third step. So step by step, if you break down the performance and do step by step, definitely you can master the skill. Any kind of skill is there. So and practice is very, very important to develop the skill. So I want to master a particular skill, right? How many hours I want to practice to master a particular skill, right? So skill is the procedural knowledge. If you want to make it, yes, practice, practice, practice. Similarly, the skill also can be transferred from one person to the another person by doing the proper practice. How many hours I want to practice to become a master of the skill? There is a rule, we call it as the 10,000 hours rule, right? So people done a lot of research on mastering the particular skills, and they come to the conclusion that if I want to become a number one in this world of any particular skill, whether it is golf, whether it is programming, whether it is playing the violin or piano, whatever it may be, that any skill, if you want to develop that, you need to do 10,000 hours practice. Then only you can become the number one in this world. I'm talking number one in this world. Now we need to decide that what is the level I want to become the master in the skill. Because world level is there, state level is there, central level is there, your school level is there, college level is there. Which level I want to become master in it? So accordingly, I have to practice. According to that, I have to practice those many hours of practice. So again, people done research on that. If I say now I'm a particular, I belong to my profession is this much. If you say that minimum, you have to practice 4,600 hours. Then only I can able to say I'm doing this profession. So if I want to be good at it, my profession, I have to come across 7,800 hours practice. Then only I'll be good at my profession. Whatever it may be, it may be that. So please keep it in mind that how many hours you put into practice every day, that matters a lot. If you want to become the highly skillful in a particular activities, how many hours daily you practice, that matters a lot, right? Not only daily put into the practice, there is another practice called this deliberate practice is there. So deliberate practice is that it has four different levels of there. First stage is that you have to define your goal within that skill mastery level. So which level you want to become master in particular level. So if you first fix the goal, this is the level I want to develop my skill. Second, you need absolute focus. Focus means undivided attention you need to give it for that during the practice. Yes, 10,000 hours practice is very important, but how to do the 10,000 hours practice is that matters, that we call it as the deliberate practice, right? So we need a undivided attention to focus on it. And we definitely need a mentor, coach, or guide who can tell us immediately that kind of a feedback where we want to focus, or what is the catch point we want to focus on during the practice. So we need definitely a mentor, coach, or guide while we are doing this practice, right? So whenever the coach or guide will give you the feedback, you have to immediately implement that feedback on next day practice. That is very important. That otherwise, you keep on repeating the same thing, you cannot become master in it. So whenever the guide or coach were giving this feedback, you have to implement it. You have to implement it in the next day practice. That's very, very important. That, and then only you can able to do this. And desired difficulty level is there. So this coach will tell you that always push you to the uncomfort zone. Okay, if you practice daily in the comfort zone, again you cannot master of any skill. So this coach will give you the every day the practice. We put you into the uncomfort zone. You have to practice in daily and uncomfortable zone. Then only you can able to become the master of any skills. So these are the uh, 4 or 5 steps you have to follow, that we call it as the deliberate practice. So you need to do 10,000 hours practice, but 10,000 hours practice not simply doing the same repeated things. You need to do the deliberate practice. This is very important, right? Right. And again, skill can be transferred from one person to another person. So anyone in this world can develop any kind of skills. There is no restriction. There is no hard and fast rule that. If you have the will, if you think you can, definitely you can develop any kind of skill. Only thing you need to do deliberate practice. The third component I call it as the talent. So what is talent? Most of the time we have again confusion with the between the skill and talent. So skill is different, talent is different. There is an organization called the Gallup, Gallup, Gallup. They have done extensive research on how these successful managers across the globe and different industries, highly successful, not only highly successful, consistently they are highly successful. So they've done a lot of research, more than 30 years, and find that there is all these successful managers across the globe, consistently they are doing successful purely based upon their talent. So talent, they define after the extensive research, recurring pattern of feelings, thoughts, actions, or behaviors productively applied. That's a definition, professional definition they are given, the Gallup organization. If you ask me what is a talent, that what is your inborn characteristics? See, inborn characteristics. So the talent cannot be transferred from one person to another person because it's inborn characteristics. I don't know how many of you know about in physics, there is a principle called the Pauli's exclusive principle is there, right? So it says that no two atoms have same set of quantum numbers. Similarly, in this world, no two human being having the same set of characteristics. Every individuals are unique. That uniqueness is your talent. That uniqueness is your inborn characteristics, right? So the talent cannot be transferred from one person to another person, right? So there are two kinds of research is there still going on. That one type of research, people say that talent is an inborn characteristics, not transferable. They have their own research evidences. So another side, people say that talent can be developed through a deliberate practice like a skill. They have their own research background, output, everything they have. According to me, treat it as talent is the inborn characteristics which cannot be transferred from one person to another person. Out of my own experience, not I don't have any evidence for that. Out of my experience interacting with the people, I can say that talent is. I can always relate it to your zodiac sign. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the zodiac signs. I can able to identify. So when I interact with the people, I can able to relate with this talent is related to your zodiac sign. What is a zodiac sign characteristics? Your talent, right? So yes, there is a difference between the talent versus the skill. You can say that skill determine if you can able to do certain things, some good things, right? Skill determine if you can able to do something. For example, it's a good design is there. Anybody by practice, anybody can do good design, right? But talent reveals something more important. How well and how often do you can able to do it? A good art. That's only talent people can able to do that. Design anybody by practice can able to do, but art cannot be done by anybody. Only these talented people can do art, right? So now coming to this, the knowledge and the skill which has the limitations, because knowledge and skill is this situation specific. If you change the situation, your knowledge, your skill will not work out. Whatever the knowledge you gain, whatever the 10,000 hours practice you practice, and the situation changes, your knowledge and skill will not work out. When you go to the new situations, your inborn characteristics only will help you to sail through the new situation. So you have to be very careful about that. So, for example, I am proficient in English. language, right? So I prepared my research papers in English. I'm comfortable with English. When I go to Russia, when I go to German, when I go to Chinese, yes, whatever the English knowledge I possess will not work out because that situation is totally altogether different. So knowledge and skill, yes, it's required, but you have to be very careful that it has some limitations. When the situation changes, knowledge and skill will not work out. Only the talent, that is the inborn characteristics of the individuals, will get you to get the things done, right? The next fourth component I'm talking about the technologies. Technology is every day the new technology is coming up. That just I want to make it go back to this basics. What is the technology is that? So technology was originally used to connect a business and internal process. After the introduction of this internet website, all these things, it connected the people and business was connected. And now the technology connect the people, business, and things. If you come across that industry 4.0, industry 5.0 is all coming up, internet of things, all this coming up latest on that right now. One thing I emphasize here, please keep it in mind that technology will not change A into B. Technology will not change A into B. What technology can do? Technology will speed up the process, which human being cannot do. So unimaginable speed, the speed of the process speed, this technology will it will increase, which the human being cannot do. Whereas, please keep it in mind that the technology will not change into A into B, and you put it in broad category depending upon our financial status or socioeconomic status. You can divide this technology into three categories. One is what is yesterday's technology, what is today's technology, what is tomorrow's technology, right? It varies from person to person, right? So if I want to accomplish a particular task on today's task, I should not use the yesterday's technology. Okay, if I have the luxury to use the tomorrow's technology, is well and good. If not, at least I need to use today's technology. So what is today's technology, what is yesterday's technology, individual has to decide, because it all depending upon the resource availability of talking. Now you categorize what is yesterday's technology, what is today's technology, and tomorrow's technology, right? And moreover, this technology is an accelerator, not a creator of momentum. So human being only can able to create. No technology will create something new, right? So the real question is not what is the role of technology. Rather, the real question is how the individuals or organization think differently about technology. So before you deploy any technology for your process, have the thorough understanding about the technology. Without thorough understanding of the technology, we should not try to use the technology. Because when it goes any small mistakes or small deviations, we could not imagine what could be the consequences. What could be the consequences? So before deploying any technology, have a clear understanding about this technology, then we can use on that. So no technology can turn the wrong people into right people. No technology can create a culture, any type of culture you want to create. So technology will speed up the process which human being cannot do, right? Next only I'm talking about this mindset. So mindset is very, very important that what is this mindset I'm talking about that? The way people think about their ability, that really counts. So what I'm thinking about my ability, that I call it as the mindset, right? So we have these two types of mindset is there. One is that, fixed mindset, and another is the growth mindset is there. So what is the fixed mindset is that, yes, if I'm not able to achieve something on that, I can start blaming something else, right? People people find it difficult to come across a situation. If you could not able to do something, they stick on to that. Whereas the growth mindset people will always ask the question, what next, what next, what next? They will move on to the next level of the things. So fixed mindset and growth mindset is very, very important. That when you take up any of the assignments, please think about that, whether you are working with the fixed mindset or growth mindset. It's very, very important that, right? So we are all born certain level of ability, and we strongly believe that which we cannot change. That we call it as a fixed mindset. But growth mindset says that yes, if I put it repeatedly and consistently, the how much effort I can able to put into that, definitely I can come across that. Definitely I can able to achieve on that. So that effort, how much effort I can able to put to get the things done. Yes, if you think that, yes, if I put my effort, definitely I can get things done. That we call it as the growth mindset, right? And a fixed mindset, people always think that if they come, they focus on these test results or grades, right? Then always think about how did I do. Whereas the mindset people always think about that when like same situation comes next time, how I can do in a better way. This is a basic difference between this fixed mindset and growth mindset. People do that, right? So, okay, of course, this is a hare and tortoise stories. Of course, is a world-known story for all over the country is there. And the hare had a fixed mindset. He believed that his innate ability would always mean that he would win whatever he did. Whereas the tortoise has this growth mindset. He believed that he needed to work going if he has to win. He was also not afraid of the failure, or he would never have agreed to raise the care. Any number of times, if you ask for the raise, it is ready, always it's ready. Of course, you know there are 4 or 5 different levels of story between this hare and tortoise is there, right? And they, of course, if you Google it, what's the difference between this fixed and mindset? There are n number of differences you can able to find out that fixed mindset people always avoid the challenge. Growth mindset people always see challenges and opportunities. They focus on proving yourself. They focus on process. Because there are n number of, if you Google it, definitely get a lot of difference between the growth and mindset people is there, right? And the good news is that you can always change your mindset. That's very, very important. That please understand that. And moreover, please keep it in mind that whether I have a fixed mindset or growth mindsets related to the individual activities. No human being having permanently fixed mindset, no human being having permanently fixed mindset. Not like that. Say, for example, if I want to join this Zoom call, I have the options. I can join the Zoom call before 4 o'clock. I can join the Zoom at exactly 4 o'clock. I can join this Zoom meeting after 4 o'clock, 10, 15 minutes later. Also, I can join, right? So to join this Zoom call, what is the mindset I have? Right, that's very important there. So to join this mindset, I have fixed mindset. Okay, I can join at after the session starts. This is related to this activity. Suppose I'm going to catch this flight or train, and just I want to go to attend my very important lecture, then I have a different mindset. I want to be 10 minutes before inside the hall. So the mindset is with respect to the individual activities that vary. There is no fixed people. There is no fixed people having the permanent mindset. There is no people having the permanent growth mindset. There is not like that. So purely depending upon this, in every activity, people have different mindset is there, right? Now, the third mindset, we call it as the service mindset is there. Yes, if you always having the mindset of serving the other people, yes, you can able to create the values. You can able to create the value, loyalty, and trust. So if you want to create the value, loyalty, and trust among your group of people in the organization, you always have the service mindset, the third level of mindset. And fourth level of mindset is yes, others first mindset. So I tried this others first mindset. When I coming to this my office, I always think about that. How can I help the people? Instead of I'm asking that what can I get it from this activity? Why I should do this, I do this activity. So when you are always ready to offer your service to the other people, that is the others first mindset, there are amazing things will happen in the organization. There are amazing things will happen. I experienced it, just you try out. Next one is this attitude. So, because attitude is everything and that, right? So, attitude is that you have different people having the different definitions, I think all these things. But basically, it related to 4 important things. Attitude means what is, do you have this, do you have the mindset about this openness to accepting the or listening to the new ideas before taking any decision on that? Are you always eager to listen, right? Are you always having the desire to grow and develop? And do you have the flexibility to change? So what percentage of flexibility you have to change? So these are the four important aspect is there when coming to the attitude, right? So then only can able to accomplish particular task is there. So again, coming post, these are the six attributes of competency, developing the competency. If you have a clear idea about that, what is the six attributes and having the deep understanding, is very easy to develop the competency. Very easy to develop the competency, right? So I put it in the mathematical equation that competency equals knowledge multiplication by skill multiplication by technology multiplication by talent multiplication by growth mindset multiplication by attitude, right? So what is the, I emphasize on multiplication. So instead of I put the plus sign, I put the multiplication sign. Why? Because for example, if you say that if any particular activities is uh, if I say that I want to gauge, so what is the rating scale if you want to decide to accomplish a particular task from 0 to 10? If I say that, so for example, I want to set the question paper for conducting the examination or conducting the test. So what is the knowledge I have to set the right kind of question paper? What is the scale, knowledge scale? So 0 to 10, say I have 7 or 8, right? So what is the skill I possess to set the right question paper in the scale 0 to 10? Yes, I have this 7. What is the talent I have setting the right question paper in the scale 0 to 10, 5? What is the technology I want to use it to set the right kind of question paper? I have only 4. No use it. Okay. So what now? People ask you, you have to submit the question paper on 10th of this month. Now tell me that what is your mindset is there? Whether I have the mindset to submit the question paper on our 10th, or I want to submit the question paper on 10th. I want to submit the question paper after the 10th, which means that what is your rating scale between 0 to 10, which means that if I don't, if I have the mindset, fixed mindset, I want to submit the question paper on after the 10th, so which means that my rating scale is 0. So if any one of the component, your rating scale is 0, your competency will become 0. Irrespective of what is the level you have in other attributes. Even if you have 0 to 10, 10, 10, 10, all other attributes, if you have one attribute, if you have the 0, there is no use of having the other attributes maximum of 10. Because your total competency will become 0. So in that sense, the multiplication symbol is very, very important. That is why I put it as multiplication symbol instead of plus addition symbol. So competency, I put it again that the combination of knowledge, partly of knowledge, partly of skill, part of talent, part of technology, part of growth mindset, and part of attitude. It's a combination of all these things, right? Now, so competency is the state or quality of an individual's work. That is a basic definition. We will come back to that. So how do I do my quality work? That is the combination I put it, the combination of knowledge, skill, tell all these things. So far, what we discussed that, right? A person and their work can be evaluated as competent if the performance is considered satisfactory but not outstanding. So that is the way people put it. Whether you are competent enough to complete the particular task, whether you are competent enough to pass through your UG program or PG program. So that is why people will evaluate your performance, whether you are competent enough or not to accomplish the particular task. So if you want to accomplish a particular task, I must have the knowledge about that. I must have the skill about that. I should have the talent. I should have this technology. I should know the growth mindset. I should have right kind of attitude. Then only I am competent enough to accomplish particular task, right? So I put it the word quality because quality is the very broad term, is very difficult to define. So I, out of my own 30 years experience and research, I bring down to this definition of the quality, right? in terms of quality means, this is my definition, my own definition, right? Quality is measured in terms of effectiveness or outcome. I put it again, this simple equation, that is quality is, or effectiveness or outcome is, the ratio between what is maximum possible for me and what actually I did. This is the way I measure my quality. So what is maximum possible for me with respect to what I actually did, right? Same thing, same example I quote it. I will quote. What is the quality? I want to join this Zoom call. What is the quality of, what is my quality to join this Zoom call? I can able to join before 4 o'clock. I can able to join exactly 4 o'clock. I can able to join after 4 o'clock also. That is maximum possible for me. So actually what I did, that is my quality. That is my effectiveness, but that is my outcome, right? So now there are two ways you can measure your quality. First one is that every day, for example, every day, I have some 10 activities I have to do that, right? So each activity you measure, what is the maximum possible I can able to do, what actually I did it. Put it in effectiveness in terms of percentage. Less than 100%, 100%, or greater than 100%, right? So per day, I have 10 activities. At the end of the day, you just do analysis. Out of 10 activities, how many activities I have the 100% effectiveness, I have less than 100% effectiveness, I have greater than 100% effectiveness. So take that average, that is my quality for particular day, today, every day. This is one way I can measure my quality every day. How many activities I have to deliver, my what is my effectiveness, whether it is less than 100%, 100%, or above 100%. This is one way. Or I want to measure my quality with respect to one particular activity. For example, I'm going to class. So daily my class starts by 9 a.m. in the morning, right? You measure for 1 month, the one particular activity. So make a note of it. So first day, what time I went to, what is the maximum possible for me? I can able to go by 8:45, 8:30 also. But today, what actually I did, what time I exactly enter into my class. So daily you measure that, then this particular activity, what is my quality of for a month? 30 days you measure it, you see that. If you start measuring your effectiveness, your outcome, there is 200% every possibility you can improve your quality. So the starting point of the quality is this, the ratio between what is maximum possible for me, what actually I did it. Only thing you have to start measuring that. If you don't start measuring, you cannot improve the quality. If the individual people not developing or improving the quality, the entire organization will not improve the quality because the organization is comprising of individuals. So individuals' performance matters when related to the organization performance. Unless the individual perform well, organization will never perform well. So where is the starting point for the individual? This is the starting point for the individuals. And yes, then competencies also result in increased quality of work or performance. And we talk about that. Competency also applied to the improvement or development of one's ability or skill for the benefit of the group or the individual or institution. You can say that. And again, this put it in very simple definition that the competency is ability along with the desire to get the job done. I put it in one single tagline. What is competency is that ability along with the desire to get the job done. What is ability? Ability is the combination of, again, the 6 components. Ability is the combination of knowledge, part of skill, part of talent, part of technology, part of mindset, and part of attitude. So this is what I want to do that. So this is the first level. So the first level of management, you have to focus on the 6 attributes to develop the competency. This is the fundamental building blocks. So the competency, the performance, all are things that is starting from this six fundamental building blocks. The first level, right? The second level, I'm talking about the build strength. What is strength? People always ask about that. What is your strength and weakness? People used to ask that. So what is my strength? So strength is my consistent near perfect performance in an activity. So please find out, just think about that in your past experience. What is the activity you do consistently near perfect? Just think about that. That will become your strength. That will become your strength, right? How do I measure my strength? If you ask me, so how do I measure my strength? How do I identify my strength? If you ask me that, so I put it in this one. So the acid test of a strength is that the ability is a strength only if you can fathom yourself doing it repeatedly, happily, and successfully without anybody's instruction, without anybody's follow-up. That's very important that. So you have to do very happily. We have to do it repeatedly the same activity. So what is the activity in the past you do repeatedly, happily, successfully, and without anybody's instruction or follow-up? That is your strength. That is your strength, right? So just find out what is your strength. Fine. Just think about in past. So what are the activities I can able to do happily without anybody's instruction? Any number of times I can able to repeat even without 1% of setback. That is your strength, right? Now coming to this, yeah. For an activity to be a strength, you must be able to do it consistently, and this implies that it is a predictable part of your performance. You can demonstrate it time and time. You must also derive some intrinsic satisfaction from the activity. That's very important. So once you complete that activity, you feel some kind of satisfaction. And your subconscious mind is longing for the next opportunity to do the same activity. That is your strength. That is the way you have to identify. So once you complete the activity, you feel some kind of inner satisfaction. That is the first indication. Second indication, your subconscious mind is always longing for the next opportunity to repeat the same activity. And when you do the next time, same activity, repeat the same activity, without anybody's instruction, you refine that, you improve that, you can able, you yourself do excellence in that activity, that in that outcome. That is your strength. This is the way you have to identify. This is the way you have to develop your strength. But develop the strength, you need a competency. To develop the competency, you need the 6 attributes. That's very important. Without those things, you cannot do this. Now coming to the weakness. As I told, that weakness is related to the role. What is the role you are playing? Not related to any individuals. Not related to any individual. Weakness is not related to any individuals. It is related to what is the role you are playing. So if you take that, as I told that same example, that question paper setter, as a teacher, I'm doing that, whether I having the strength or weakness, right? So if I play the role of that question, if I'm not able to set the right kind of question paper, that is the weakness. Weakness means I'm unable to set the right kind of question paper. If I play a role of question paper setter, I cannot able to do that. That is weakness for me, not related to my any individuals. Not related to any individuals, right? Now, coming to that, if any activity, if you have the weakness, if you're not able to perform well, if you find it difficult to accomplish a particular task, that will become weakness of that, right? Now, what could be the reason? It could be number one is due to lack of knowledge, or due to lack of practice, sufficient number of practice, or due to talent, lack of talent, or due to lack of, you may have the fixed mindset, you don't have the growth mindset, or you may not use the right kind of technology, or you may not have the right kind of attitude. So if you identify your weakness, also do analysis, self-analysis, why I have this kind of weakness, whether it is due to lack of knowledge or due to lack of practice. If you're able to identify, definitely you can change it. Definitely you can. Say, for example, if you have that, if you identify that due to my fixed mindset, I'm not able to do, definitely you can change your mindset from fixed mindset to growth mindset. If you're able to identify, yes, I don't have sufficient practice hours, that is why this will become weakness. You do more practice, you can change it. So any kind of weakness can be converted into the strength. Any kind of weakness, if you identify the reason at which attribute it makes you weakness, if you focus on it, you can change, do some improvement on that particular attributes, you can change any kind of weakness into strength, right? The third level, we call it as the personal mastery. So it is the process of continuously focusing and refocusing on what you want it. That's very, very important. So when you reach that level, it takes a lot of time. You do some kind of experience, you have experience in this world, then only it takes minimum 10 to 15 years to become the personal mastery. And that provided you have consistently developing your competency, identifying your strength, and repeatedly you are working on the strength, and repeatedly you are converting your weakness into strength, then only you will come to the stage that yes, I can able to focus and refocus on what I want. That work I can able to do that, right? So I have the ability to find or continuously focusing and refocusing on which is important to me next to 1 hour. That is, we call it as a personal mastery, right? So what is focusing again? Focusing means I have the ability to differentiate between which is important to me, which is not important, which is significant to me, which is insignificant, which is relevant to me, which is irrelevant. I have the ability to differentiate between then I have the focus. Once I know which is important to me, that's the first level. Second level, I have to act upon which is important to me. That's very important. That is called the personal mastery. Not only identifying which is important to me, I need to act upon it, which is important to me. That I call the personal mastery. So this is the third highest level of management. I'm talking about that, right? The personal mastery goes beyond competence and skills or strength, though it is grounded in the competency of 6 attributes is there, right? And ability to focus on ultimate intrinsic desires, not only on secondary goals, is a cornerstone of the personal mastery. This is some of the definitions I can put it on that. So personal mastery suggests a special level of proficiency in every aspect of life, whether it is professional life or the personal life, right? As I told that with the first is continuously clarifying which is important to me, and I need to act upon that. That we call it as the personal mastery. This is the third highest level of management. So personal mastery must be a discipline. People with high levels of professionals mastery are more committed. They take more initiatives. They have broader and deeper sense of responsibility in their work. They learn very fast. They are faster. So these are some of the characteristics of people already reach that personal mastery level, right? So these are the reference books I referred for this discussion about that. The Good to Great by Jim Collins. Jim Collins, other great books are there. You can go through other books also. And another important book, I call it as the Fifth Discipline by Peter Senge. And yes, again, a book is called The Mindset is there by Carol S. Dweck. And first break all the rules which differentiate between this done by the Gallup. What is the difference between the knowledge, skill, and talent? And how to identify my strength. There are 36 combination of strength people identified through research that now discover your strength. The book they are dealing with that. These are some references. So this is a summary. I just wanted to close it. So first we started with this. What is the definition of these three levels of management for career building, and discussed about that. The first level is developing the competency. Second level is the building the strength, and third level is the attained personal mastery. So competency is the part of knowledge, part of skill, part of talent, part of growth mindset, part of technology, and part of attitude, right? So based upon that, you can identify what is your strength, what is your weakness. Any weakness can be converted into strength. Then third level, you can go for this personal mastery. Okay. So thank you very much for any questions. I love to answer some or any doubts or questions are there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation, Dr. Ashokan.
Thank
So
you.
any other questions from the attendee side, you can raise your hands so that I will allow you to talk, or else you can post your questions in the Q&A or else in the chat box. In the Q&A, attendees have asked, Ahmad had asked, what is dynamism in management?
What is dynamics
Dynamics
in
in management.
the people is the only dynamics in management, because we do not predict, we do not know how the people will behave when the situation changes is. So people first, if you clearly understand the people's strength and weakness, definitely can you do better management. So the dynamics is people.
In which competency level the strategic thinking approaches falls in?
Strategic thinking coming in the personal mastery level.
Okay. So, can someone with a bachelor degree in engineering be admitted in your institutions?
Yeah, definitely. Yes, sure.
So, by this, we will end the session. A
Yeah,
virtual
okay.
big thank you to each and everyone for making our webinar a success. So, thank you, Dr. Ashogan, for the participation.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, attendees. We look forward to connect with you again in the virtual space of knowledge. Thank you so much.